संग। तन है यहाँ मेरा मन है वतन, उड़ता हूँ मैं अब बाबा के संग। प्रभु प्रेम की इन किरणों से गद गद हो रहा है अंग अंग। अब पैर जमीन पे नहीं रहते, जब छूटा माया के चंगुल से। जो प्यार मिला मुझे तुमसे, वर्णन करूं मैं कैसे मुख से। ये दिल जानता है बाबा, दिखता है जो नैनों के नूर से। जो प्यार मिला मुझे तुमसे।
Om Shanti. Good morning.
Om Shanti, good morning.
Hope my voice is audible.
Yeah, it's audible.
Wonderful. Thank you, Colonel Sati, for joining us, and a very warm welcome.
Thank you.
It's indeed pleasure to have you here amongst all of us. Um, Although we may be low in numbers right now, slowly some members may join.
Okay.
The recording is generally been observed on the YouTube later on.
Okay.
So we will have a lot of members benefiting from today's talk. Maybe you might have a background about this small group. So we are basically churning Baba's Murli on a daily basis. All
Okay.
the Avyakt Murlis right from 1969. We read each Avyakt Murli every day and do a small group discussion on how to apply that Murli in our day-to-day lives.
Okay.
So we had started this journey from 2019, a year before COVID, and since then until today, 2025, we are now doing the second revision of Avyakt Murlis.
Okay.
So we have two groups, the English group and the Hindi group. Both the groups run parallelly. So this is the English group where those who are comfortable in English language, we join and we listen to Baba's Murli.
Okay.
So it's pleasure, brother, having you here.
Thank you.
So for just those who don't know Colonel Sati, let me quickly give you all a short introduction. We have a wonderful personality here, and let me flash his biodata because it's so wonderful to go through him. Although I knew about Dr. Colonel Sati before because of the SHW wing, but when I read his biodata, I was really so happy that Baba has given us such a wonderful jewel. Right from 1989, since his posting in as short service commission, I got to know that he was at Kargil, the very famous place where it's so famous now after, especially after the war which we had. So Colonel got a chance to serve over there as an instructor for Class B Army officer in the training school in Agra as well from 1998 to 2001. And he has been serving our Indian Army over 33 years and still serving. Okay, so officially maybe 33 years, but till now, all the services of social security wing, most of the credit goes to Colonel Sati. Uh, Apart from that, he has been posted at various boundaries, ninth Gwalior Rifles, Hasri, Indo-Tibet border, Jamnagar, Hyderabad, Srinagar, so many places he got a chance to work with. He came into Godly Connection in July 1983, and since then, after completing his graduation at Lucknow, he is a regular student at Brahma Kumaris and organized various different programs. Especially noteworthy is the One when he got in association with Assam Rifles and agreed to give a house to BK organization for organizing stress management and de-addiction programs for Assam Rifle troops. And friends, let me tell you, arranging program for the army officers, may it be any place, it is very tricky because most of them really don't entertain any religious groups or such kind of organizations, because that may uh, give a different impact altogether. But Baba is such fantastic person, and he has done used the instrumental Colonel Sati in such a way that we have been able to have so many army programs. How I came to know it, because during COVID, lots of programs were conducted through Zoom, because that time it was a nationwide lockdown. And that time, Colonel Sati had organized so many programs. Apart from that, he after his retirement from army in November 2002, now he is staying at Baba's home, Abu Road, that is our headquarter, and now he is rendering his godly services as security in charge at BK headquarters, and he is also national coordinator of security services wing. So a lot to his we have to his feathers, because Baba has made him special jewel. And welcome, brother, once again to you.
Thank
And
you.
today we will be understanding from you the defense mechanism of soul, because Baba has made you double security personnel. One is in the Lokik, of course, you have a very huge experience. But as long as now that we are into Baba's knowledge, all of the participants here are BK, understanding Baba's Murli. So, according to you, how would this translate into our defense mechanism? What are the things we should be careful about? And maybe some of special experiences if you would like to add into your talk. So, we would love to hear from you. So, over to you, Colonel Sati. Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning to everyone. And I'm very pleased to be here today to express my experiences to all of you. And the topic that we have selected for today's talk is very interesting, defense of our soul. Yeah, defense in the army parlance is basically, defending the borders externally and internally. Similarly, we now come to know as spiritual, seekers, that we require to defend our soul also from external and internal aggressions. And for that, Baba's Murli and everything is very nice, and is the key for us to achieve this big aim. And so I came into touch of this organization in the year 1983, as brought out in my introduction. And uh, before that, I was, a stout devotee of Lord Hanuman, and had a little idea of, spirituality. But then when I saw, beautiful photo of Paramatma Shiv and Lord Shiv, then I, took interest to know what is it all about. So I was, made to explain that it is the knowledge of the Brahma Kumaris, which is being imparted by the Lord Shiva, the Supreme Soul Shiva. Then I did that 1 week course, and to my luck, I was in Lucknow. So I always call Lucknow as your luck is now. So my luck, was there. And I could, after completing the 1 week course, could have a clear realization that this knowledge is absolutely beautiful, perfect, logical, and it's worth, moving on this path. And then at the age of 18, I started walking on this path. And being a young youthful person, I was very much interested in doing godly services. And I had one problem those days, that I was not able to concentrate on my studies. So I gave a lot of importance to doing Rajyoga meditation before I used to study. And I saw a very wonderful result, that I could not concentrate for, say, around 2 hours, but then subsequently I was able to concentrate for around, slowly, from 2 to 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I could sit easily for 12 hours, for my studies. And I did my BSc, I did my MSc in botany. Then I was, planning as to what should I do in my career, because there was a compulsion for me to take a job in my career, in my life, because of my family problems. I had lost my father early and had three sisters, younger to me, and one elder brother. So there was a pressure from my mom ki you should do some job so that you can get your sisters married. So I was looking for a job, and I used to ask Baba, what should I do? So Baba gave me a beautiful message that you will, become an officer. But I was, astonished as to how can I become an officer. I was not that intelligent. But I saw that if you altruistically, serve Baba or the yajna of Baba, then Baba takes care of your career also, physical career, Loki career. And in one chance, in one go, I got selected in the Indian Army and cleared all my tests. And it was all Baba's blessing. And I joined the academy for my training. So when I joined the academy for my training, that was in 88 May. To my utter surprise, I was very spiritual in my approach. I was, very simple. I was very simple in my outlook, in my lifestyle. But then when I joined the army training, I was totally, shocked to see the atmosphere inside the academy. It was opposite the life that we live as Brahmins. But then, for 3, 4 days, I was totally, in turbulence. But then, with Baba's blessings, with some good seniors, and by using the powers of Rajyoga, that is the power to adjust, and I got myself adjusted to the academy routine slowly and successfully. And I completed my training very nicely. And I got commissioned into the Indian Army, into the regiment called the Galwal Regiment, and the battalion was 9 Garhwal, and my first posting was at Jamnagar. And to again my surprise, in the Indian Army, when you go and join a Jismani army as a soldier, so you are welcomed not with ruhabza and fruits, but with non-veg and liquor, that is rum. But then I had to again put my foot down, show my spiritual, qualities, and very, in a very nice manner, I convinced my seniors and everyone that I'm a teetotaler, I'm a spiritual man, and I do not, entertain such things. And slowly they got used to my, lifestyle. And thereafter, there was no, pressure from any angle. And I was a short service officer in the Indian Army. And for 5 years, I had a contract to serve the army. And the moment I completed 5 years, the Indian Army asked me a question, whether would you like to serve again for another 15 years, or would you like to take an extension for 5 years, or you would like to leave? So until then, my one of my sisters had got married, so I was of the opinion that I should take an extension so that my other two sisters get married, and thereafter I leave the Indian Army and I'll join the Ishwari Yajna, Madhuban, and do some seva there. But then, to my utter surprise, the army and my boss then, in a way, compelled me to keep staying in the Indian Army by, inspiring me that officers like you are assets to the Indian Army, who are very spiritual in their approach, as well as who are so well read and so physically fit. So it may, in times to come, inspire some of the people, some soldiers, to live such a life. And the divine sisters then also inspired me not to leave the army, because they felt that you are an instrument of Baba. And if you live within the army, within the ranks, with your troops, then the troops will get a wonderful message through you. And it so happened it was a correct message. And till 14 years in Indian Army, I used to normally keep quiet and neither give any sermons to anyone. I used to follow spirituality to the extent I could, but at my individual level, and not sharing or not interacting much with others. But when I completed 14 years and I was in a training institute where we had our boss as a brigadier, so one fine day he called me and he said me, ki, Major Sati, I have been watching you since long, and I have seen that you remain stress-free and happy, cheerful, though we at times, do put you under a lot of stress, but still you come out of it very easily and happily, and you stay balanced. So what is the key to stay happy and balanced? So I told him, sir, I regularly do meditation. So he says, which meditation? I said him, sir, it is called Rajyoga Meditation. So he says, how does it help you? I said, sir, it keeps us stress free. So he says, very good. As a brigadier, I remain in stress at times. I want to come out of this problem. So you arrange a program for all of us in this training institute for stress management. And we would love to know all about this stress free living. And I did arrange a program at the institution. That was the first official program I did manage to arrange, wherein Ashok Gaba, squad leader, retired, had come along with Dr. Prem Masan, and a wonderful program was conducted for the troops of the organization of the Army Institute, Training Institute, and the brigadier himself sat down through the entire program, and later he felt it was a wonderful discourse, and he says this is what we should follow in life. So slowly, a candle was lit to start the services in the forces, and slowly it grew. And today it is a great pride for me to share on this platform that there is no force left in this country, right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Manipur to Bhuj, that we have not touched, whether it is an armed force of the country, or it is a paramilitary force, or it is a police force, or it is a jail police. So we have covered almost every section of the police of the central government and the state government. And this year, it's a good news that we are celebrating the Silver Jubilee. And recently, when we celebrated the Silver Jubilee, the 25th year of the Security Services Wing, during the inauguration, we could convince Shri Amit Shah, the Home Minister of the country, to come and inaugurate the function. And during the valedictory, we could convince Shri Rajnath Singh to come and grace the valedictory function and join us for the divine lunch, the Brahma Bhojan. So this was a great success. And again, I would say the blessings of Baba and a wonderful teamwork of SSW, that is the Security Services Wing. Now we come to some of my experiences. Since I, from day one, was a spiritual soldier in the sense, I used to get up as early as 4 o'clock doing my Amrit Vela, reading Murli, and having a pure food. Only during my training, I was advised by the divine sisters that you should have what is given in the training, that is the vegetarian food. But once you are a senior officer, you become a bit senior, you have got your own company, own team, then you should prefer having pure food. So the moment I was promoted to major as in 1995, wherein I had 110 men under my command and 3 cooks under me. So I, detailed one of the cooks, and especially for me, to cook pure food for me. And then, since then, it was having pure food in the Indian Army. And then in the evening, doing some meditation there during Numa Sham Yog, and writing some checking chart and a daily report to Baba. So slowly, this lifestyle, that was the spiritual lifestyle, was in progress. So with this spiritual lifestyle, I was like a spiritual soldier in the Indian Army, always in Baba's lap and his Baba's company, Baba's companionship, having the protection of Baba's bulletproof over me. And I used to always, motivate my team to do meditation, and I used to inspire them with more motivational talks. So slowly they also came onto the track as I was following. And that really helped me and my team to a great extent. And we had a lot of success. And basically, for me, I went into the Indian Army as a Kumar, as a bachelor, as a physically fit man. And to my achievement, when I came out from the Indian Army in November 22, that is on 8th of November 22, when I left the Indian Army, I was again, as I went inside, absolutely fit, and a bachelor, Kumar, and having enjoyed everything that the 33 years of Indian Army gave me. So now to my experiences, in 1995, we got order of to move to Kashmir Valley, and there in the Kashmir Valley, we served for 2 years, that is 95 to 97, and that was fighting the insurgency, and it is basically to catch the militants and to apprehend them, to catch their weapons, to take their weapons, and if required to eliminate them, in case they encounter us, to eliminate them. And so the moment we reached Kashmir Valley, it was a very tough task, not is so easy, because those days, in 1995, the Kashmir situation was very, boiling. And there were far too many incidents happening those days, like ID blasts, and lot many, encounters with the militants. And those days, Afghani militants used to be in large numbers in the valleys, and they used to fight for the Kashmiris. So it was very tough. But then, with Baba's grace, we were in the heart of the Kashmir Valley, that is Srinagar proper, in the capital. And I was very closely located near Lal Chowk. And my company, my boss, who was my commanding officer, gave me a location independently just next to Lal Chowk, in a place near Bakshi Stadium. So when I went there, I and my company, got settled. We did lot of patrolling on foot, giving drishti to every area that was under my responsibility. And then we were given orders to, nab the militants. Now, catching militants in Kashmir Valley is not very easy, because they are, very, very cunning, these militants, and they stay in disguise. But then, with Baba's blessing, and working as a trustee, ki Baba karayega, and I have to just work as an instrument. It was so wonderful that I got very good informations. And in the 2 years of my stay, I would first give you the result that in 2 years of our stay, we had 5 companies in the battalion, and my company was the one of the companies which was commanded by me, and I was the youngest major, and I had other majors who were senior to me. But the 2 years of command, the results were very, beautiful. We could nab around 40 plus militants. 8 AK rifles were apprehended. We caught the 8 AK rifles. That was the achievement. 7 pistols, a large amount of, explosives, IEDs, grenades, and a lot of cash, and materials, and 3 ladies also we apprehended, who were supporting the militants. And the second achievement that we had in Kashmir Valley, which was appreciated by my boss, was that that Major Sati has got a wonderful PR. The public relations are very good. He is well known to the police hierarchy, the IG, the DIG, the SSP, the DYSPs, the inspectors, and the constables, the head constables know him well. And secondly, he is well known amongst the houseboat personals. They know him well. He is well known among the business community. So one day he asked me as to how you have got such a good PR. So I told him, sir, PR means PR. And if we remain in a soul conscious state, we are able to look other as a soul. And with that approach, the vibes that spread from us, the positive vibes, they attract the others, and the affinity is very close and very beautiful. And he appreciated that. And now I'd like to share one experience of the Kashmir Valley, that one fine day, how we caught a militant, and so-called militant, and that his blessings are with us even till date. So it was in the day, I say around 12 o'clock, I got a report from my informer that there is a militant in a house nearby, and he has a pistol with him. So me and my team got ready. It was 12 in the noon. We did 2 minutes of meditation. We rushed to that spot. That is the house of the militant. We encircled it. We moved inside. So I saw a man having his lunch. So my informers, who was with me, told me, sir, he's the man. You please, pick him up. So we, took that man with us and brought him to the camp. And very peacefully we did the entire operation. And then I asked him only one question: are you having any weapon with you? So he says, sir, yes, I'm Mr. Fayaz, and I have a weapon with me, that is pistol. And I said, how did you get this pistol with you? He says, sir, when militancy started in Kashmir, I was unaware, and we all started supporting it, though I never took arms in my hand, but we supported these militants because we never knew who were they. And after 2 years, I came to know that they were militants. They were not good people. They are into, wrong activities. So I left them. And I was an electrician by profession. I started my electric shop, which was closed for some time. And I started repairing all electric items. And one fine day, these militants, they came to my house at night, 12 o'clock, and they were with weapons, and they, shouted at me. And when I encountered them, I asked them, what is the problem? Then they gave me, threat as to why I was not joining them these days. I told them, ki, this is not my cup of tea, and sorry, I can't come with you now in future. So then they, threatened me that if you do not come with us and do not support us, then we will take your elder daughter, your daughter, with us, and we will apprehend her. So with that in mind, I got scared. I thought they may do the same next time when they come. So for protection, I have kept this weapon for my safety. And I says, where have you kept this weapon? Where have you hidden this weapon in your house? He says that, sir, you please come with me once again, and I will hand over the weapon to you. So we once again went to his house, and we were astonished that had we searched that pistol, we could have never found out, because it was, in his kitchen, above the chula, in the chimney that is up above the chula. Inside the chimney, he had kept that weapon in a black polythene. So he went, he took us to the kitchen. He took a kneeling position. He peeped inside the chimney. He took out that polythene. Then he gave me a pistol, a magazine, and 3 rounds. So I was really shocked. How could he keep a weapon there, which we could have never thought of? Thereafter, then I told him, ki, now you are, a culprit. You will have to be surrendered to the police. We have to hand over you to the police. He says, I'm ready, sir. So we brought him to the camp once again. I spoke to the SP. We have apprehended a man, though not a militant, but he had a weapon. And can we keep him for some days with us so that we can, explore any information he has got? So SP was a good friend of mine. He says, you can please keep him for a few more days for, questioning. So we started questioning him on daily basis, but in a very nice and proper manner. So he initially had, a lot of, inhibitions about the forces, that they are not good people. They are very harsh, rude, cruel. They do, a lot of acts which are, of injustice. But this man, after staying with us for around a week plus, could find that we were different, and we were more positive, polite, and good people. So after, say a week, he approached my guard, who used to look after his security, who was over him. Can I meet the major? So I was told the so-called militant wants to meet you. So he was brought to me. We spoke to each other. So he said me, sir, I am very happy in this camp, and there is no problem. And I am being treated very nicely here. And I feel that I should contribute something for you. So I says, what you can contribute? He says, sir, I have got information about a militant who is in my colony, and he's a 19 years old boy, and he has got a rifle with him. And now he is, in pain, because he never wanted to become a militant, but, foolishly he became a militant, and he was given a weapon, AK-47, and he's got 3 magazines. He's got a lot of rounds, but now he wants to surrender. But the militants are unwilling to, surrender, and they are asking for 50,000 cash. And neither his parents nor his teachers are aware that he is a militant. And he, very secretly joins them. And the rest, he, whenever he comes to me, he is in total pain, and he keeps crying. So I want to help him, but there is no way I can help him. So one way you can help him is that you apprehend him, you nab him, and once you nab him, the militants will come to know that he has been apprehended by the Indian Army, and they will stop chasing him and his family, and he will then surrender to give you his weapon. And you can write a report for him, which is in his favor, so that in case he even is put in jail, it is not for a long period, and he can live a peaceful life thereafter. So we did the same operation the same night, and we caught him from his home. and we apprehended him. He took us to a Kashmiri Pandit house in the downtown of the Kashmir, which is very thick in its population. And in the third story of that very pathetic house, which was already half burnt, he had hidden the weapon in the roof in a earthen pot, and we got that weapon from him. That was one AK rifle, 3 magazines and rounds, around 100. Then we then wrote a report. I wrote a report for him that he is a boy who went into militancy but was never active and wanted to surrender but was not allowed to surrender. And thereafter, we can now help him to live a normal life by giving him the punishment that is the minimum. So the police was handed over. He was handed over to the police, subsequently to the court, and I was told that later, after a year or so, he was released on by the government of J&K to live a normal life and lead a normal life. So I was very happy to know that we could save a life through this method. And after around a month, having kept Fayaj with me, I said, Fayaj, now that you can go, we will release you today and you can go back to your home. So we went to the police station. I wrote a report for Fayaz that he is not a militant. In self-defense, he had kept a weapon, and he can be given a chance to live peacefully and wonderfully. So the J&K police, the SP, accepted him, and they produced him in the court. He was given a bail, and after the bail, he was left. He came home, and when he came home, he met the all his neighbors. They came and met him, and they inquired as to how you were treated by the army and how harshly they treated you. So, to the utter surprise of his wife and the relatives and the friends and the neighbors, they all got totally surprised that he was treated in a very decent manner, nice manner, and he was rather inspired to live a proper and good life. So his wife couldn't even believe this, that this could have happened with him. She was expecting him to have broken hands, broken legs, and or he could have been even eliminated. She was thinking the worst because we had his weapon. But she was totally shocked to see him smiling and very happy and peaceful. And then he told his wife that I will first go and thank the major, and before I settle down in my house. So he took a quick wash, and he in his white safari and his scooter with sweets, he came to me in the camp, which was very nearby his house. And he met me. He said, "Miki sir, can I speak to you for some time?" I said, "Yes, sit down." So he says that I have three things to share with you. First, that when you apprehended me, I and my family and my relatives wanted to, bribe you by giving you some money so that you can keep the weapon, but leave me. But sir, we couldn't do that because you were totally strong and we couldn't approach you for such things. Secondly, I was of the impression that when I will be in your custody, during interrogation, you will, interrogate me with third-degree methods, and I will, lose my whole body, structure, and I would be in a very bad shape. But it never happened. I was kept very lovefully and peacefully in your custody. And the third thing, which I was fearing the most, was that one fine day you would have told me, "Ki, come, let's go for a adventure," and then you would have left me in a jungle terrain. You would have shot me from the rear. I would have been dead, and you would have shown it as an encounter. You would have got a medal, but I would have lost my family, and everything in my family would have got shattered. So he says, "Ki, sir, this also never happened. And today I am back into my family, into my business. And sir, I have only one thing to say you, that me and my family, whenever we will do our namaz, you will always remain in our blessings, in our dua." So this is what I feel, was a so positive award that I got, that helped me to, stay very, safe and sound in the Indian Army, in doing my all, endeavors, and coming out peacefully and, safe. Second good experience is of Kargil, where we were there in 2001, and I was posted at a height of, say, around 17,000 feet. where we had the enemy, that is Pakistan, just next to us at a distance of 50 meters. But they were at a height of 17,500 feet, and I was at 17,000 feet. And that terrain, as I want to share with you, is totally snowy terrain. For 6 months, we have total snow in that area, and the level of snow is around 6 feet. 6 feet of snow is there, 6 to 8 feet of snow. And during winters, our source of water is the snow, and the lifeline for us is kerosene. The kerosene which we store during summer is the lifeline during winters, because through that kerosene we burn these stoves, and those stoves, they used to warm us, keep our rooms warm, and used to prepare our food, on those stoves. So we had a wonderful stay there again. But then initially, when I went there in May 2001, just after Kargil war, the situation was very, very pathetic. The firing between the two countries, there was not a full war, full-blown war, but it was war-like situation, that shelling from both sides continued during my tenure from 2001 to 3 there. And at times during those shellings, we used to lose our Jawans, their lives, and at times they used to get, very badly injured. And so the Pakistani Jawans also used to, suffer casualties. So when we went in 2001, I went from Agra. I was there in the academy, in an institute as an instructor. So before going, I did a lot of Mansa Seva and Mansa Sakash to the area. So when we reached, the area was a bit silent, a bit cool. And in that period, we got settled in our area from 10,000 to 17,000. I had around 10 posts, which was under my command. And my headquarters was at the height of 15,000 feet. And my young officer under my command was at the 17,000 feet, where we had 25 men deployed throughout the year. So in May, when I visited that height of 17,000 from my headquarters at 15,000, I found that it was a very peaceful post and everything was peaceful there at that height of 17,000. And the enemy, which was at 17,500 and at a distance of 50 meters, was also quiet, and there was no such tensions between us in that area. And the LC, the line of control, was safe. It was secured. So the officer there told me, Ki, sir, we are in constant communication with the Pakistanis. We talk to them. They also talk to us. So peace is prevailing in this area. So I said him, you continue with this process, because for me, the men should be safe, the LC should be safe. Thereafter, we need not fire. And this is my policy. So he says, sir, we'll continue with your policy, and we'll keep peaceful and stay the way we are today. But in October 2001, a situation developed that the enemy, which was at 17,550 meters from us, in that area of 17,000 feet, called area bump, B-U-M-P, bump, it was called area bump. So this enemy started building a new bunker against us, facing us, in front of us. So when the bunker was being constructed, when it was constructed half, so we could judge that something fishy is happening. So we, inquired from the enemy by talking to him as to what are you making. So he did not respond. He continued with his work. Then when he had made almost 3/4, so we were sure he's making a new, post, a bunker for his weapon against us. So we told him, Ki, friend, you are doing something which is not mandated, which is not required. You please stop it. So he did not listen to us. Again, he continued. So we showed him a red flag. The young officer showed him a red flag. That is a signal of danger, warning. But still he continued. And thereafter, when he continued, then I was approached by my officer, Ki, sir, what to do? He's still continuing. I spoke to my commanding officer with the request to fire 2 rounds in air to frighten the enemy. And my my commanding officer was very happy when he used to call, requesting for firing. He used to have the feeling of super sensuous joy wherever we used to ask him for firing. So he readily agreed us to fire 2 rounds onto the enemy in the air, to frighten him. So we did the same. We cocked the machine gun, and 2 rounds in air were fired against in air towards the enemy side. The enemy was totally taken by surprise as to how we could fire again on him, and he got totally frightened. He stopped the work which he was doing. He and his team took the positions in their bunkers which were facing us. There were 3 bunkers which were facing us, and this new one was the 4th bunker. And then his weapons, he cocked his weapons and he started firing at the post which was at 17,000. We initially thought that he is annoyed and he'll fire for say around 15-20 minutes, half an hour. But to our surprise, the firing continued for 3 days. On the 3rd day, when I asked this young officer as to what is the condition, he was sounding nervous. So I told my commanding officer, with whom I was then sitting at the headquarters of the battalion in a conference, yes, sir, the situation doesn't seem to be good at 17,000, and the officer there is feeling nervous. So he told me at 9 in the night, that is 9 p.m. in the night, to prepare a team which I had brought from my post, from my headquarters, to meet him, to leave right at 9 p.m. itself towards 17,000 and take that post under my command till the situation becomes normal. So at 9 p.m., I and my team got ready with our baggage and with our weapons. We did a 2 minutes meditation and we started walking. Now that terrain is totally rugged, stony, very difficult. You keep falling time and again. And half of that terrain is under enemy's observation. So during day, you can't move because he's watching your movements. During night, you can definitely walk, but then you have to walk very safely. So we started, say, today evening at 9 p.m. and next day at night 11:30, we were very near to 17,000 feet. That is the post where I had to go. And at 11:30, I was shocked that the firing was continuing between the 2 posts, that is the enemy post and our post. So I thought, as late as 11:30, why the enemy is firing so late? But at 11:45, when I stepped inside the post with Baba's blessing, the firing of the enemy stopped. And I met that young officer who was very nervous, stressed. I sent him to a different post, that is at 16,000. And I took the command of the post, in the charge of the post in my responsibility. And I told Baba, Baba, and I am here for this task. You are with me. I'm a trustee, and you guide me as to how I should manage this situation, which is very tense and difficult. And then I went to my room, that is my bunker. And next day morning at 9, when I was ready, after my meditation, when I came out, my Havaldar told me, yes, sir, you are a senior officer, our company commander. If you order, we can start firing at the enemy because the enemy has not opened the fire till now. So I said him, wait till some more time. Let's see what is his strategy. So at lunchtime, when I thought I should have my lunch, and I sat for lunch, I could hear the firing rounds, and I went out to see what has happened, what is happening. So I could see, I could feel, I could find that the enemy was firing from a very discreet location. I was seeing the enemy firing very heavily onto us. And he had only one aim in his mind, that this Indian Army post should be eliminated. These 25 men should be killed, and we should, take over this post, as it is very nearby at a distance of 50 meters only. And they were at 17,500, we were at 17,000. So now to reply the enemy, we also started firing. So you can understand, if you are fighting in a hill and you are firing uphill and they are firing downhill, the effectiveness of the fire coming downhill is more than the fire that is going uphill. For 2 hours, I was watching this fire, which continued from around, say, 1:30 till 3:30, 4 o'clock. And the firing was continuing, but I thought after 2 hours that this is not the way we should, face this enemy. We'll have to change our strategy. So I sat into meditation quietly and started remembering Baba to, seek divine intuition as to what should we do. And Baba tested me in a way, you fire on him, the rounds of more mortars, which we call as, artillery. The artillery weapon which we have got, the artillery guns which we have got. He inspired me to fire that round. So what happens? These rounds of artillery, they move in a parabolic direction, that is in a U shape, and they are fired from the headquarters, and they travel a distance of 6 kilometers in air and fall at the location where you guide them. The moment I asked my senior, that is my boss, to fire the RT shells, he was not in an agreement with me, because he had one big doubt in his mind that this RT shell, when it falls, even a single RT shell, it clears and it destroys the area of 150 feet. So he was of the opinion that in case I fire the RT shells, it shouldn't hurt my own troops. So I convinced him, you fire only one round. So the first round was fired and it hit our boundary wall, which was damaged. The next was given a big height. It fell in between the two posts. The third, destroyed their boundary wall, and the fourth went exactly between the location of the Punjab post, that is the Pakistani post, exactly in between them. Then I told him, sir, we have got 8 RT guns, so please fire from them. So all the 8 RT guns were opened, and more than 100 rounds at around 5:30 were showered from up above onto the enemy, which the enemy was taken by total surprise. He was shattered, lot of screaming and shouting from his post, and thereafter he was quiet. And a day prior, he fired at 11:30. Now he was totally quiet at evening 5:30, and till next day morning 9 o'clock, that is 9 a.m., he was quiet. Then we at 9 a.m. again, showered him with 100 more rounds. Then thereafter, till 15 days, he never fired at us. But the hostility, the animosity was there, and he never allowed us to, move freely during day, or to move to, those bunkers where we had kept our ration or our food or our clothing. He never used to allow us to go there during day. Even during night, we used to go, absolutely in total darkness, to get out our water, to fetch the rations in total darkness. And we used to crawl and go, because he could see us at the skyline. But then those 15 days were very tough. And then I felt this is not the way we can live here. We have to, be peaceful. And secondly, there was one more enemy which we were going to confront after October, and that was the snow, which is around 8 feet. And if we do not prepare for the snowfall, at times we have seen that the enemy doesn't give us a casualty by firing, but we have casualties of our jawans by slipping into the ice. And they go into the crevice and they die there. So I felt this is the right time. I should now prepare for the snow, which had already started when I was there in October 2001. Around 1 feet of snow was already there in that post. So I spoke to my boss, sir, the enemy is though frightened, and he's not firing us at, but he has kept us, the hostilities are there. So I want one thing from you, that I should establish peace in this area and fight for the enemy number 2, that is snow. So he got convinced with me, and he says, go ahead. So that evening, then we spoke to the enemy. We shouted at the enemy side to, have to come for a dialogue. And next day evening at 4 p.m., we had a dialogue with both of us. Me at my boundary wall, they at their boundary wall. And I waved my hand. I spoke to them. I told them, now, henceforth, there will be no firing from the Indian post towards your side, and you may freely, make your movements. And the Pakistani side, gave us a very good reply. And I feel, how could he give such a good reply, wonderful reply? And today I realized that it was because the positive mansa sakas which I was giving him during those 15 days, the positive vibes of peace and positivity, that had an influence on him. And the reply he gave me is, we are peaceful soldiers. We also love peace. So we also give you assurance that there will be no firing from the Pakistani post henceforth on you. Your movements, which are totally restricted, can now open up. You can make your movements towards your all points within your location. And then we had a 1 hour talk. And next day morning at 9 a.m., when peace had established, my Hawaldar came to me, ki, sir, the enemy sentry is shouting that you can please now make your movements freely, but we are, we are frightened because this is Pakistan. They can do anything. So I says, don't worry. I'll show you a demonstration. So I came out of the room. I did my meditation. I got a divine intuition from Baba ki all will be good. You go. Then I now stood at a point where the enemy was seeing me from tip to toe. That is from my head to my feet. And I waved my hand towards the enemy side. They also waved the hand. Then I started moving in that area, which was a plain ground, small ground. And then I told my Haldar, is anything happening to me? He says, nothing. Then I said, come out. So thereafter, my boys came out, and my commanding officer was informed that peace has been established. You may please visit. Next day, he was there in the post to visit us, and he asked me as to what do you require now. I said, sir, the enemy has destroyed the post very badly. If you could give us some stores, we can reconstruct the post in a beautiful manner. He says, I will do that. He sent us a lot of material and everything, and we really reconstructed that post so beautifully, so wonderfully, and very nicely. We made 3 more bunkers without enemies knowledge, and we empowered that post. And to your kind information, we stayed there for around, say, 1 year and around six months, that is 18 months. In that post, I stayed there for 1.5 years. Thereafter, once the peace was established, I never allowed a single round to fire, a single RT shell to be fired, because I could feel that peace was the biggest weapon here. And with that, my LC is secured, the men are secured, the boundary is secured. And thereafter, we peacefully and happily came from that location to Meerut. And in 2004, I conclude by saying that in 2004, April, in a big function, I was approached by the new battalion, which was in Kargil and our place, and by their boss, the commanding officer, ki Major Sati, the Pakistanis were remembering you, and they had paid their good wishes to you. So I asked him as to how this happened. So he said me ki you left in 2003 February, and there was a ceasefire which happened in 2000 December between the two countries, and since then there is no firing in the LC at all, and it is peaceful right from Siachen till Jammu. And in 2004 January, when there was a ceasefire, our Jawan at night came out for the bathroom and got slipped in the snow, and he went into a crevice which was 200 feet down. And next day we could find his body in a nala which was in the Pakistani side. So we showed a white flag, they showed a white flag, we went, they came, and they handed over the body. They talked to us for around an hour. And at the end, they asked us as to where were you? That is about the Major Saab who was in this post for so long a time. So we told ki, what was the reason for asking such a question? So they said ki, we have nothing against him. We only want to say that he was one such officer of the Indian Army who lived for a long time in such a difficult terrain post. And his approach was very wonderful. Gio or Jine do. Live and let others live. So in case you happen to meet him, tell him that we have sent our good wishes, our salam to him. So today I conclude by saying that spirituality is such a wonderful field that you not only defend the country, the defense of the country is not only secured, but again, the defense of the men, material, and self is also secured. And this is how I feel spirituality is a big, big asset for a soldier and for soldiering. And this is what I keep inspiring whenever I have a chance to talk to the soldiers, that you be a soldier, but have spirituality in life, and you will be always successful. Because once Baba said ki to ensure total security, you be in soul conscious stage. If you are in Avyak stage, Baba will ensure your security. And that is the formula that we should carry as BKs, that the more the soul conscious stage, the more we are safe and secure. Thank you, and Om Shanti. Good morning.
Wonderful, Satyabai. We are now open to any reflections, any questions that we have for brother.
Yeah.
Jai Hind, brother.
Jai Hind.
I'm Girija Ben. I have seen you, I think, once with Squadron Leader Ashok Abaji and Nirvair Bhai. I have met
Yeah.
you once in Madhaban. I'm not sure of the year.
Okay.
I also remember when Bipin Rawatji had come in 2018 to Shantivan.
Correct.
And I remember the way he spoke about what is meditation and its role and his experience, especially his
Correct.
wife Madhulika, who had given.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I always go through Colonel Hansa Raval.
Yeah.
She is from the US Army, and I've heard from her. And my privilege, I have also seen her personally when I went visit the US. My
Okay.
question to you is because the topic is defense of the soul. See, I served in the defense accounts, so I know
Okay.
what is the army. Now you will face two instances. You spoke about food and you spoke about cook. What there are so many other things happening in the army, especially in parties. When you were in such parties or when you were in such tamoguni atmosphere, how did you defend yourself? I want to know the real practical thing which you did in parties. Secondly, when you're in front of an enemy, you took your rifle to shoot that person. What was that happening? Did it happen for you like that? That you gave instances, I heard it, but directly you shot somebody, like say the Pelgam, what happened? So what was the defense you had for yourself? These two experiences. One is how did you come out, face the Tamoguni atmosphere? Because I know what's the army atmosphere, and they need that after such stress and all. Can you give me your experience in these two instances, please? Om Shanti.
Thank you. Good questions. Firstly, when it came to attending the parties, so initially, as I said, they used to pressurize me to have liquor and non-veg. So I used to be very clear. And then why I approached my commanding officer one day as a young officer with hardly 10 days of service. He sir, whenever I visit anyone or I'm in the parties, I am being pressurized for having liquor, which I never take. I'm a teetotaler, and may I request you to pass directions to the officers not to pressurize me, because I am a spiritual man with such a bent of mind. So he was a very good commanding officer. He could understand my emotions and my feelings, and he appreciated that, and he passed clear instructions that no one will force Lieutenant Sati to for drinks. And thereafter, whenever I used to be in the army, what helps us is the internal strength that helps us in these parties. See, I was doing my Amrit Vela, I was having my pure food, I was having my Murli, I was doing all the seva through Tan, Man, Dhan, whichever was my possibility, what was my strength. So that everything was building me internally in a stronger manner. So whenever we used to have parties, I used to be part of the parties in arranging them also. But I was very clear that I have never to be part of what they are doing, and rather seeing me, many of them got motivated to leave drinks, to leave smoking. They got motivated. So I used to remain very clear. I used to be remain very cool. In the parties, as you are aware, they serve soft drinks as well as lemon water. So my favorite drink was hot lemon water. So that used to be in my hand, that glass. And people still used to joke around ki, you should drink this, that. But I was very clear कि no non-veg, no things. And later on in parties, I used to just have a lemon water and some fruits. In the during the meal time, they used to ensure that I should have meat. So I said, no, sir, you just serve me fruits and lemon water. So they used to be very happy to see this lifestyle. But then they thought, how could I do it? But it was all the internal strength, the self empowerment that we get through Baba's Murli and Rajyoga, and through the seva which we do, that helps us to remain balanced in such tamoguni vatavaran. And as I said, it has helped many people and many senior officers to live and this way if it was possible. And secondly, when it came to shooting the enemy, to my luck, it never happened that I had to shoot an enemy. Though I fired at enemy, but it was never that I killed an enemy. But that time I was very clear, absolutely clear. it is a job where Baba has given us a clear Srimat ki if you are doing your job, which is a professional job, and you are meant for it, you are being paid for it, and it is a duty to serve the country, then there was no hesitation to do that. And as I said you, the live example of Kargil, where we had a live firing, so heavy firing, which we witnessed, and a very pathetic, turbulent days of 15, around 2 weeks, wherein we had to, be under enemy fire, though not active but passive fire. But then I was very clear from within that this is all going to, tide over. We will, establish peace, and everything will be good. Everything will be peaceful. So here I would like to say that I was very clear that when it comes to duty, I have to do it. But then when it is not required, so as when we establish peace and there's no requirement to fire, then even after pressure from my seniors, like my commanding officer or my brigadier, I never fired a single round. I say no, sir, I will not fire because there is no requirement to fire. So, they used to call me, a Pandit who is peace loving. But I accepted that, I said, ki, no harm. I'll accept that phrase, but then I want to keep my men secure, my LC secure, my equipment secure. And if that is secured through peace, then there's no harm in to stay peaceful. So this is what I would like to, reciprocate to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Let's take one last sharing before we close. If anybody wants to have any experiences or any questions for brother.
Thank you, Sati Bhai ji.
Thank you.
मैं ओम भाई बोल रहा हूँ.
Ji.
And it was very learning, a lot of learning from your experiences, which you have seen practically, the practical application of spirituality. And the Supreme Commander, Shiv Baba, was always with you, is there with you, and will always remain with you. And that's the learning for me also, that when we are in this awake stage, then there are unlimited possibilities, and even miracles do happen. And that's what I could assimilate from your experience. Thank you, Vaiji, for sharing these. I'm sure this experience will be a message to all the soldiers who are at the border, and this only peace can create a long-lasting, everlasting solution. Thank you, Vaiji. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Yeah, Om Shanti. Bachi, very inspiring. And it's very good to know how you used Baba's knowledge and the method to live and let live. That was very inspiring, and how you demonstrated, the different way approach and taking every situation, the challenging situation that you are putting, not only your life but also others. So every time you held Baba's hand and then handled the situation very peacefully, that was very inspiring. So very practically you implemented Baba's knowledge. So very, it was very inspiring. A lot of takeaways. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Ramsey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rather the stories and listening to you, I'm sure the time is less, but I'm sure we'll continue connecting with you for any future sessions. I would love to have you again and again here. But before we close, we invite you to do a short meditation, and then I will close. So over to you for a quick meditation.
Yeah. So whenever we meditate, we should, always keep in mind that we are not only empowering ourselves through the meditation, but our shakash is, going right from the kalpa tree to all the souls, and then to the wonderful the stars, the planets, and then through planets onto the planet Earth, where we human beings are playing our roles, we Brahmins are playing our roles, and then to the Sisti Chakra, which is of 5,000 years, the Kalpa, and thereafter to the divine family, the Lokik family, and to the organization we belong, to the locality we belong, to the family we belong. So what happens? This Sakash on a daily basis and regularly helps us to get a peaceful cooperation of others. And though obstacles do come thereafter also, but then we are able to manage them better. So we will do a meditation based on these things. I am a soul, a beautiful, peaceful star shining in the forehead, and up above this body, the stars, the planets, the beautiful Suksham Vatan. I'm there with Baba, and Baba is embracing me, the sweet Brahma Baba with Shiv Baba in the forehead. And we call lovefully Bab Dada, and in short, Baba. And we are with him, and we are seeking his love, his blessings for this beautiful day. And from today, we have the beautiful month of June, today being 1st June, a beautiful day of Sunday. So we seek blessings that this month be a wonderful month, a rewarding month, a satisfying month, a spiritually rejuvenating month, a recharging month, and a month of Tivra Purusharth. And thereafter, we from Sukshma Vatan move up as point, as soul to the Param Dham, and meet Shiv Baba there, and take his blessings in the form of divine intellect, divine wisdom, divine virtues, divine powers, divine drishti. And thereafter, we now focus onto the Kalpa tree, and through Baba, being in the roots, we seek the blessings from Baba, and then from the roots, we move down towards the tree and the trunk, that is Satyug, the Treta, the Dwapar, the Kalyug, and we hereby empower the souls. We recharge them, and we give them a wonderful message that the time is up to move to the home, and the time is up to go back home, as this kalpa is coming to its beautiful end. And thereafter, we, having done this Mansa Sakash for the Kalpa tree, come back to the Suksham Vatan, take the tilak of Vijay Bhav from Brahma Baba, Bab Dada, for the day, for the month of June 2025. And we come back to the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, the planet Jupiter, the planet Earth. And on planet Earth, we sit on the top, and we spread the rays as Mansa Sakas of purity, peace, and prosperity for the earth, for the 5 elements, for the human beings playing their roles, for the oceans, for the continents, for sweet India, for the government of India, the state that we belong to, for the divine family, for the Lokik family, for the relatives, friends, well-wishers, for the office where we serve, for the organization whom we are serving, for everyone, Mansa Sakash, and then lastly for self as trustee for the day, for this month, that we are in Baba's remembrance company, and while doing our every spiritual act, and peacefully as Sakshi, being Sakshi Murat, we are watching the game of others and enjoying this beautiful life. So this way, we will enjoy this, not only this beautiful day, but this beautiful month and the remaining beautiful years of this kalp, to be victorious and successful, and to become deities, pure and sweet and divine for Satya. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Bhaiji. Thank you. Thank you so much, and see you again soon. We all, in remembrance of Baba, have a wonderful day and meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.